I absolutely love scrolling shooters, and UN Squadron is no exception to this. Now, it's a little different. It's, in my mind, it's not one of these scrolling shooters you just pick up and go. There's a time investment and some upgrades you do, but it is worth it. Even just this initial cutscene, look at that. It's amazing that this is coming from a Super Nintendo. It's a really, really beautiful game for 1991, and what I realized later on is it's actually based on Area 88 from Japan. It's a manga series, pretty much the same thing. You go through, build planes, attack bad guys, stop terrorist groups for Project 4, but we're not here to talk about the background. I just want to talk about the game. So let's get right into it. So you start off with 3 players that you can select. Each one has their own strengths and weaknesses that you want. But like most of these games, especially since I play them casually, I like to go with the all-around middle character. That way you don't have too many strengths or weaknesses to worry about. Pick our area, but we're just starting out, so we don't really have any choices. And here's what makes this a little different from most pick-up-and-go scrolling action games. So you actually have upgrades you can buy, right? Now, mind you, a lot of side-scrolling games have this, but this isn't something that you're just going to pick up and play. Now, I always enjoy games like this as kind of a time waster, right? If I got a couple minutes to kill, pick it up, go right into it. I'm not that good at it, I'll be honest. I was never incredibly proficient at these games. They're mostly button mashing games for me, but that doesn't make them any less enjoyable. So even though this is one of the harder side-scrolling games out there, but it's just one of these things that you can kind of get into a really relaxing, mindless loop of just going back into the mission, maybe doing some casual upgrades. Do we get money? Yeah, so money for it. And going back into it. The nice thing about a lot of these side-scrolling shoot-'em-up games is just how unrealistic they are, and what I mean by that is that there's no way a plane's going to be able to fly like this, so you just kind of turn your mind off and play. Oh wait, we can go and got a little new area here. So you see on the radar, looked like an enemy plane flew in, so we'll be able to go and engage. Look at the background in this. What's nice is you have multiple layers, right? So it looks like each of the clouds are moving at a slightly different speed. Plus we have thunder, we have all the sprites going through. It really makes this a wonderful game to look at for the Super Nintendo. And I think, I'm not going to say this is one of the best games graphically for the system, but it is a very, very wonderful game to look at. And very impressive with the capabilities that they were able to push to the Super Nintendo. And there we go, game over. Like I said, I'm not incredibly good at this, but let's do that one again. That was a little fun. But you see on that little radar screen there kind of your visible arc. So as you progress, that arc gets bigger, or as enemies attack you, then they'll come into your arc and you'll be able to see them. Excellent, excellent. Look at that. What's hard to imagine now, looking back, so you see right there, and that plane is coming in slowly, getting closer to my base, so it's a little more pertinent that I go take that out now. But, one thing that makes games like this difficult for today is graphically, this was really, really impressive in 1991. Looking at it in 2024, especially if you never had, or maybe you're too young, but if you never had a Super Nintendo back in the early 90s, it's very hard to look at this and be impressed. But I know when I saw this game, I was incredibly impressed as a young kid, because this is something that I didn't think my Super Nintendo could do. So, you know, it's sometimes hard to have the retrospective goggles on and look back and, you know, be amazed at the capability of some of these systems 20, 30 years down the road. I see UN Squadron in the same category as something like Xevious for the Nintendo. Just really, really solid scrolling shooters, whether it's side-scrolling or vertically scrolling. These are just really great games that you can pick up and go and have a lot of fun with. And if you only have a couple minutes to play, great, you're going to enjoy it. If you have a long time to play through the game, even better, especially with the power-ups and the way UN Squadron's really set up on the back end. These are great games. Pick it up. If you have a Super Nintendo, or if you're into emulation, UN Squadron is a really great game that you're going to enjoy. You're going to win with this. It's going to be a lot of fun. And this is a game that I just keep next to my Super Nintendo. That way, if I have a couple minutes to kill, I can plug it in, go. It's always ready, and it's easy to pick up. I hope you enjoyed this. I don't do a lot of game reviews, so I'm not comfortable with them, but hey, let me know in the comments below if you like this. If you want to see more game reviews, check out the rest of the videos I have on the channel. Like, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.